The Shaft Sinkhole Tragedy. On May 28, 1973, 9 experienced divers gathered at Mount Gambier in Australia to explore what seemed like a small, unremarkable hole in the ground. Beneath it, however, lay an enormous underwater cavern, about the size of a soccer field, illuminated by a single shaft of sunlight that reached 120 feet down to a mound of rocks. Among the divers was 19-year-old Christine Malott, who had been diving since childhood. She was accompanied by her brother Stephen, their cousin John Balkerman, and a family friend, dive master Gordon Roberts. Their mission that day was ambitious: to push beyond the main chamber, descend through the western tunnel, and reach a record depth of 250 feet. The dive began smoothly. The group descended past the rocky entrance into the vast chamber, then continued into a narrow tunnel. But as they moved deeper, they disturbed compacted sand and silt, clouding the water. Visibility dropped to nearly zero, only the reach of their arms. Disoriented and running low on air, panic began to set in. Christine and Gordon searched frantically along the tunnel ceiling for an opening, shining their lights through the murky water, but found nothing. John, possibly suffering from nitrogen narcosis, drifted farther into the darkness. Stephen tried to ascend by inflating his buoyancy pack, but became trapped against a rock. One by one, their air ran out. None of the 4 made it back to the surface. The remaining divers, shaken and terrified, surfaced to realize their teammates were gone. It took rescuers 11 long months to recover the 4 bodies from the depths of the shaft sinkhole. A grim reminder of both the allure and the danger of deep cave diving.
The Nam Talu Cave Tragedies. On October 13, 2007, a group of 8 people ventured into Nam Talu Cave, located in Khao Suk National Park, Thailand. The team was made up of 6 tourists, including 4 Swiss visitors, a 10-year-old German boy, and a teenage girl from the United Kingdom, along with 2 Thai guides. Nam Talu is famous for its winding, water-filled passages that attract many explorers during Thailand's dry season. Unfortunately, this trip occurred during the rainy season, a time when conditions are far more unpredictable. The group entered the cave shortly after noon. Although the weather near the entrance appeared calm and dry that morning, heavy rain had actually fallen in the mountain areas upstream, where the cave's watershed begins. Because the cave is part of a complex underground drainage system, flooding from distant rainfall can occur suddenly. As the group made their way through the tunnels, the water gradually deepened. The guides noticed the rising level, but believed it was manageable, until, within minutes, a flash flood thundered through the passage. The water surged rapidly, filling narrow corridors and leaving the explorers with almost no escape route. In the panic, one of the guides urged everyone to climb toward higher ground. Some managed to reach a ledge, but others were swept away. Within minutes, the lower sections were completely flooded, with no air pockets left to breathe. Tragically, 7 of the 8 people drowned. The only survivor was the British teenager, who found refuge on a small rock ledge above the floodwaters. She endured over 16 hours trapped in the dark before rescuers reached her. The victims included the young German boy and both Thai guides. The disaster sparked national outrage. Authorities closed the cave and imposed a seasonal ban from June to November, when flash floods are most likely. Warning signs were placed at the entrance, and tour companies were ordered to halt operations during the rainy months. For many years, the rule was generally followed, though enforcement was sometimes lax. Some local operators quietly continued tours during the restricted period, assuming the cave was safe if the surface weather looked clear. Then, on August 6, 2024, tragedy struck again. Despite the official closure, a group of 22 tourists and 2 Thai guides entered Nam Talu Cave. The morning seemed pleasant, though it had rained the night before. Around 5 p.m., as the group was leaving, another flash flood swept through the cave. Rescue teams quickly arrived and managed to save all the tourists and 1 guide. However, the second guide, a 37-year-old man, was carried away by the floodwaters. His body was recovered several hours later. Reports confirmed that he had been helping others reach safety when the torrent overcame him. A government investigation determined that the cave was still officially closed at the time, and the tour operator had violated the seasonal ban. Legal charges were filed for negligence. In the aftermath, authorities implemented stricter safety regulations and increased monitoring of tour activities. Yet, even with these measures, concerns persist. Economic pressures continue to push some operators to downplay risks in order to attract tourists. Many visitors, unaware of the cave's deadly history, still underestimate the danger. The Nam Talu cave disasters remain stark reminders of how easily natural beauty can turn deadly when safety warnings are ignored. They stand among the most preventable cave fatalities in recent memory.
Like the video? Hit like, share, comment, and tap the bell for more awesome content.